And we're live. Okay, welcome everyone to the live stream. Sorry I'm a bit late, everyone. Usually I try and get these at 9 o'clock, but I'm 11 minutes late. That's 9 o'clock my time, but in the evening I'm in Berlin, so that's European time, Central European time, and it's raining outside. It's not a nice evening. Let me know where you're joining from and what the weather's like where you are. We have people already. Jij is here. Is that Mick? Is that Mick? M-I-C or Mike? I want to say Mike. But that could be Mick. How's it going? Welcome to the live stream. Christopher is here. Jij says, looks like Fabian's son won't go to bed. Yes. How did you guess? Exactly right. I'm going to try something a little different in this live stream. As you can see, I've got a different microphone. I'm using a ribbon microphone from Extinct Audio. I did a video about this recently. It's a lovely small ribbon mic, and I'm basically gonna show you how, because I've been getting a lot of questions about what my live stream setup is and how I set up for my live stream, and it's kind of similar to how I would set up any recording, at least with the microphones and everything like this. I'm not as prepared today. I think if I was doing this properly and showing you how I would set up my microphones, then I would have some other microphone I would talk into, but I wasn't that prepared. So I've already set up the vocal mic at least, and this is going to pick up my vocals and my guitar, a little bit of my guitar, but mainly the vocals. And I won't be going too deep into this. Don't worry, I'll be doing songs. I just kind of wanted to show you as I'm setting up what I'm doing. And maybe I can sort of share my screen as well a little bit, and kind of show you how I do this. Because I've been getting a lot of questions about this, and I thought I might as well do it because I'm running late anyway. And rather than me just setting up before I hit go live, I thought I'd just, you know what, I just set up this mic. And that's it. That's all I've done so far, and I'm gonna just hit live and go, and we're gonna set up. And especially, I'm gonna be doing something slightly different. Like, I don't usually use this mic, because this mic is something, it's quite special. I'm borrowing it off a friend, so I thought I'd use this opportunity to try and do a live stream with it. But okay, so I'm gonna still have the chats open and everything. So if you have any questions about what I'm using, the gear I'm using, or what I'm doing, then by all means ask away, and ask any other questions as well. You know, this is a place where there's no silly questions. Honestly, there really isn't. Anything about any one of my videos that you've watched or anything like this, you know, this is a good place for me to answer because you've got me live. And you know, I try and get to my YouTube comments as much as I can, but sometimes there's just so many coming through. It's really hard with a busy life to answer everyone, but I really try and do that, and I will get to everyone eventually. It just takes me some time. All right, just seeing anyone else come in. We got a few people coming in. Welcome everyone. Paul's here, Jodie's here. How's it going? From Dublin. Massive storm. Yeah, it's like there's lots of storms going on in Europe at the moment. Jij is in Normandy, raining as well. Yeah. Rain, 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 huh? Okay, all right. So I'll get going with this now. Maybe I might show you my screen, and it's not the most ideal setup because ideally I'd have like two screens, do a two screen jobby. But we'll see what happens when I do this. Oh yeah, you can kind of see me, but you can't see. You can see my screen, but you can't see my face. All right, no worries. What I'll do is I'll make this smaller. So this is my door that you're looking at right now, and I'm just trying to make this a bit smaller so you can kind of see what I'm doing. If that works. So you can kind of see these first tracks, right? And this is the vocal. You can see I'm coming through. And hold on. Scene 2. See what that. Oh no. Oh, now I'm going all over the place. You can tell that I haven't done this before. I got my vocals coming through in my door, right? I'll just show you like this. You can't see my face, unfortunately, but and then I'm gonna attach another mic, which is gonna be my guitar mic, and I've got my pickup as well. I've got a pickup wet and a pickup dry. I'll look at that as we're going a little bit, but I don't want to because it looks a bit weird. I'll get the second mic, and this is what I wanted to show you. I was experimenting last night with kind of different mic setups, and I've got this mic that Neumann sent me, and it's an MCM 144, I believe. Make sure I get that right. Ta-da. It's basically a miniature clip-on mic, and that's what it looks like. And I actually used this in the last live stream, but I'm gonna actually set it up and show you what it can do, because I managed to get a really interesting sound last night with it, and it was really interesting and really nice to sort of get the different two different microphones, the ribbon microphone, which tends to sound very warm, a lot of low end, very rich sort of sound, with this small diaphragm condenser, which I could place really close to the strings. And a small diaphragm condenser has a very detailed, sort of a brighter, clearer sound. And sort of mixing the two was really interesting. So we'll see if this works today. And then I'll show you, and then I'll introduce the pickups as well and show you what's going on there. So first off, I should say that this is specifically for a guitar. This is like a guitar set. So you can buy these for like I think it's the same head. So let me make sure I get it right. It's a KK14, and this is the clip for the guitar. I've never really used these before, so this is like my first time trying. So this is all a bit of an experiment. By the way, this is not a sponsored video. None of these companies know that I'm doing this. And by the way, most companies, when they send me stuff, I have to return it, so they don't give it to me free. I have to send it back. But it's really nice to be able to try this stuff, and to use it. And so basically I have to attach this to this here. And actually, it's much easier doing it when it's not on the guitar yet. So I clip that on like that, right? So that's what it looks like. And what I'm going to do, which I experimented, so you can have various different places to clamp it on. And let's see if I can do this without like hitting anything. Or I could either clamp it on to the top here, or I could clamp it onto the bottom. I found to the bottom kind of is less intrusive, because this is also what I was concerned about, that it would get in the way, it would be intrusive on my playing, and so far it hasn't. So I'm just gonna like basically just like that clip it on, and it has these really nice rubber bits that you can sort of that definitely won't damage your guitar. And now I'm going to basically just kind of place it on. I'm going to sort of, I can angle it. I don't want it too much towards the sound hole. It's like, I'm going to, you know, because that's going to be lots of low end. What I did notice with this is that it would pick up a lot of the contact from the guitar, you know? So any sort of body sound, it would pick all that up. Not in a massive way. Like, obviously, it picks the strings up a lot better. But it was definitely noticeable, you know? Hold on, I'm going to move it slightly. Just need to get it in a good position where I can, if I want to, I want to be able to kind of place it further towards the sound hole or further away, you know, if I need it. But we're going to try that sort of, see what that sounds like. I might move it a few times, and then I need to plug it in. Hold on. So it's pretty solid, you know. I can leave it. I don't have to worry about it falling off or anything. All right, I'm going to try this. So it comes with this, which is basically a jack to XLR. I'm guessing this is some weighty thing on it. So it's like there's some electronics preamp maybe going through here. Okay. And now I'm going to attach this to the XLR, which is already attached, which is obviously muted still. Okay, and now we're going to try it. See how this sounds on the guitar. So it's obviously very clear, but you can hear like any sort of, definitely picks up any sort of movement on the guitar. It's a very clear sound. I could almost move it further that way because I'm picking up, when I play some of these bass notes, to my headphones at least, to what I'm hearing, you know. And what I want from this is to have that sort of clarity, you know, have more the top end rather than the low end. So I'm going to turn this mic off now, and I'm going to play a little bit with just the clip-on mic. So this is still just this mic. And now the ribbon mic. So I quite like the combination of the two, because the ribbon mic is still picking up. If I mute this now, you can hear how much the ribbon mic of the guitar, the ribbon mic is picking up. So it's just the ribbon mic. Actually not a huge amount, to be honest. Compared to the other one. So it's a quite good separation. So this is, I want this to be more towards my mouth, towards my vocals, compared to the guitar. So sometimes I use like a large diaphragm condenser. I would have that further back. And if I was using this for both just this one microphone, then I would have it lower definitely and further back, so it would pick up more. But I've got it a bit more towards my mouth. It's hard for you to see with the camera, but it's really not far. It's like, I don't know, 30 centimeters or something like this from me. All right, I'm gonna have a look, see if we got any questions or anything like that. Bum, bum, bum. Christopher says, Fabian, I'm interested to know if you would consider using one of the Yamaha transacoustic guitars with built-in effects for ease of use. For example, the LSTA or the new TAG3. Have you heard of them? I think I saw this. Has it been around? I think I've seen someone do a video on this recently. It's got like built-in effects. I haven't looked into it massively, to be honest. You know, I probably would like it, you know, if I tried it. It's one of these things of like, you never know until you try it, whether you will really like it, be into that or not. I would always definitely consider using that. But I mean, I always have the point of view of I like to use everything separately. So I don't like to use pedal boards that like you get these like effects pedals that are like all in one. You have loads of different effects in one thing. I don't like to use that, because then if that goes wrong, or if anything should happen, I don't know, I just feel like I would lose everything. Plus, I feel like I have more customization if I have all different pedals. And plus, there's the thing, if your pedal, or whatever it is, whether it's a guitar, pedal, or mic, if it does just one thing, but one thing really well, you know, I think that's always better than trying to combine things. Does that make sense? So I always have this point of view that I would rather buy one thing that does one thing really well than something that does lots of things, like a guitar with effects inside it. It's like I never like these preamps. You sometimes get these like acoustic preamps with effects in them. And I get why they do it. They try to be like practical. Oh, we put in reverb for you. But it's never any good. It's never a nice reverb. So I just wouldn't use it anyway, you know? I guess it's for people that don't use reverb a lot and just maybe don't care about how their reverb sounds. And I guess it would be useful to then, I wouldn't have to bring another pedal. The reverb's in there, you know? You know, it's always better having separate things, then you have more control, you know? I don't like the idea of it, but I've heard that it's really good. And I have seen a video somewhere. Can't remember who did that. Maybe a few people already. So I have heard of it, yeah. And I always would consider trying it, you know. I just don't know if I would like it, you know. Guitars and Gizmos, how's it going? Guitars and Gizmos, I think you sent me an email. Sorry, I haven't replied yet. I will get, if anybody has sent emails, I will get back to you. And if I don't, just send me another email to hassle me. It's, oh, the clip-on mic is very quiet. It's not on right now, but when I was playing it, was it? Really? Oh, hold on. Hold on. Have I turned it on? Yeah. Yeah, it's coming through. Can anybody else hear the clip-on mic? Let me mute the other thing. So this is just the clip-on mic. Yeah, it is quiet. It's loud in my headphones. Let me hold on. Maybe that's better. All right, it's loud and clear. It's quieter than the ribbon, yeah. Yeah. Nice. Guitars and Gizmos says, could you talk a little bit about DADGAD versus DAD-FAD with the F sharp? I'm used to open tunings, never really checked out DADGAD. Sounds beautiful when you play that guitar. Yeah, absolutely. Give me 1 second, because I think what I need to do, because I'm hearing something different to what everyone else is hearing. And that's part of what I'm doing with this setup, is I basically have to go, if I want to have multiple control over multiple channels, then I have to go into my DAW, and then if I want the DAW to then be picked up by the streaming software that I'm using, which is OBS, then I had to create like a virtual output for the DAW. So the DAW is going into like a virtual output, which sounds weird, but it's something that I'm not technical enough to know anything about. I just YouTubed it, and then followed a tutorial. So, and then I just set it and forget it. So, but I think that the guitar mic. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I just realized that this was not on as well. The guitar mic is a little bit quieter, and I can't. A little bit quieter than I want it to be. So I need to adjust the levels in the DAW. Maybe I can show you what I'm doing. Like this. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah. So the guitar mic there, I need to adjust. But I can't hear it. I'm only hearing directly from my interface, you know, what is coming through. So I need to basically go on the levels here and what you guys tell me. Okay, but I think it's pretty good. I'll be adjusting things as we go, you know, just to make sure that I'm not like clipping or anything like this. Okay. So I'll talk a little bit about DADGAD here, because it's something that I use a lot. So I use DADGAD a lot, and the difference between like DADGAD and something like DAD F sharp AD, you know, the F sharp is like the major third, and the DADGAD is like the modal tuning. So it's a sus4 tuning, and it just enables you to be able to play in both major and minor tunings. But also I feel that if you haven't got a third in there, then it doesn't taint, or it doesn't influence and what you're playing, you know. So if I had like hold on, yeah, like a F sharp in there with everything that I was doing, you know, it would just influence everything that I play. And with the DADGAD, it basically leaves everything open. So when I'm playing things, so what I'm doing now at the moment, I'm just playing in like D major or D minor, you know. And I'm kind of hitting these, you know, minor thirds and minor sevenths and stuff like this. Mixed in with these open strings, and that's what I like to do, and that's what a lot of, you know, open tunings, it's all about the open strings. And I'd say that's kind of the main difference between the two. I do use DAD FAD, so like minor D minor tuning for a lot of slide stuff that I do, but using modal tunings like this with no third in there, it just kind of opens the possibilities a lot more, and just kind of lets you be a lot freer, I think, in a way. Hope that makes sense. But yeah, I mean you can dive into DADGAD, you know, there's a lot to kind of go into it, and stuff, and a lot of players have basically dedicated their whole lives to this tuning. So yeah, it's something that is big. We could spend a whole live stream on just DADGAD if we wanted, you know, and maybe I'll do that. I have done that before. Okay, so I'm gonna now I'm gonna play a song in a second because I've been talking for way too long. I'm gonna introduce the pickups now, right? So this is pickup 1. It's all the same pickup, but I basically split my pickup and have it one as dry and one as wet. And you'll see what I mean in a sec. This is with the pickup now. Doesn't sound much different without the pickup. It's really hard to tell the difference, huh? But the pickup, I'm just going to mute the mics now and then play the pickup so you can hear how little of pickup there is. But it's literally just I don't want any clarity in the pickup really. It's just to kind of support that low end a little bit. So that's the pickup. So it's really not much at all. So it's just to support it. And then I'll just mute it again, and I'll show you what I do with the effects. So I have effects going through. I've doubled up the pickup, and then I have various effects going through, including a volume pedal, and I'll bring that up and I'll show you what that sounds like. Okay, so that's obviously very wishy-washy and lots of reverb going through there, but on its own it sounds completely drowned out, but blended with everything else, then it kind of gives me the option to bring that in or take it out. I kind of use that as dynamics. Yeah, so let's play a song now and see how this all sounds together. So I have the ribbon mic, the clip-on mic, and I have the pickup, which is one wet signal and one dry signal. Just take a sip. What I like about the clip mic is that I can get really, really close. I'm actually going to try and bring it a little bit closer. And really, I can really get that sort of string sound and that detail, you know. So we'll give it a try. All right, here we go. Nobody's fault but mine, and nobody's fault but mine. If I don't read, my soul belongs. And I have a Bible in my home, and I have a Bible in my home. If I don't read, my soul belongs. She taught me how to read. My mother, she taught me how to read. I don't read, my soul be lost. Nobody's fault but mine, and nobody's fault but mine. If I don't read, my soul be lost. Nobody's fault but mine. Father, he taught me how to read. Father, he taught me how to read. If I don't read, my soul be lost. Nobody's fault, nobody's fault, but nobody's fault, but nobody's fault, but nobody's fault but mine. That was Nobody's Fault But Mine by Blind Willie Johnson, of course. Welcome to the live stream. Hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. Yeah, let me know what you think of this, the mic that I'm using, the guitar sound. So obviously it's blended. You're hearing a little bit of the ribbon, you're hearing a little bit of the pickup, but most of what you're hearing is the microphone. I was, last night I was doing something that I don't do too often, but I'm trying to do it more often. Is basically playing for myself. I was recording myself but I was doing it just for the love. And of course, I always do it for the love. Like everything I do with my YouTube videos, with, you know, everything, I'm doing it because I sincerely love it. And I love talking about it. I love creating these videos and everything. But it was nice to actually do something without thinking. Like you get this it changes you, you know, when you've when you've been creating videos for so long online. You're thinking like, oh, this is a good video opportunity, you know. It's like I could have easily just set up my camera and film myself, but I didn't. And I want to just do things just for me, just to play, you know. You kind of lose that a bit. You lose that feeling just to enjoy just having fun playing. And I want to kind of do that more. Of course, I still do it, and but yeah, I'd like to do that more, because, you know, I take on so many projects, but I do it. I love taking on projects, and I love especially collaborating with other people and you know, stuff like this. But I can, you know, I can take on a lot, and sometimes it's too much. And sometimes I take on so much that I forget about my own needs, my own musical sort of needs of just playing, you know, just and it was really nice to experiment with these two mics. I wasn't actually singing, it was all just improvisation on guitar, and I do that sometimes. I just set up some mics or one mic or whatever, and I just improvise. I just hit record. I don't even know what I'm going to play. I just hit record, and whatever comes out comes out, and I just play for like half an hour, maybe an hour, and it's almost like meditation, you know. It really is like you get yourself in a trance, especially when you do it for a long time. And that's, you know, that's musical flow. That's getting in the flow. And I was there, and I was doing that last night, and it was really great. And it was really nice to use these mics in combination, especially on one source on the guitar, because I was able to just the sort of richness of the ribbon mic picking up, with also combined with the detail of the clip-on mic, was it just meant that I was able to play really quietly, and I really like to play really softly, you know, and then kind of bring in certain sort of harder notes now and again. If anybody's on the Song Club, I'll send one recording that I did. I'll post it tomorrow on the Song Club, because I'd like to get your just to show you what it sounds. You know, it's literally just an improvisation. It's nothing. It's not really a song. It's just me messing around. But it's more the tonal aspects and the sort of the feeling that I got from this. And I was also actually recording my pickup as well, how I do it with the wet and the dry, so both had two separate outputs as well, and it was nice to sort of be able to blend those two. I mean, I know I talk a lot about simple setups, and here I am talking about like recording with 4 different signals on one guitar, but you know, it's nice sometimes just to experiment, just to experiment with complicated setups, just for the fun of it, you know, because you can, you know, and because I know it's not going to overwhelm me or stress me out. You know, one of the benefits of a simplified setup like one mic is that it's easy and it's stress-free. Also did a video recently about this subject as well. Anyway, I've been rambling for too long without looking at the questions. Let's have a look. Feel free to ask any questions, anything like this. um, as we're going. Guitar and Gizmo says, thanks, Fabian. Have tuned a guitar to DADGAD now and will explore. Yeah, absolutely. I'd like to do more. I've been having a lot of people ask me about DADGAD. Maybe I'll do a video on it. I was thinking of posting something on the Song Club. If you don't know what the Song Club is, I think most people are on the Song Club here. It's my own little club that I have, a little community on my website. The link is always in the description down below. It's completely free if you want to join. It's full of lovely people. And more people are joining now. I think we're up to 45 members now, which is pretty cool. And more people are posting as well, which is really nice to see. A few today as well, which is great, you know, because that's what it's all about. It's about just feeling like you have a place where you can ask questions, where you can post your music, get other people's opinion. You know, it's a free place where you can get in touch with other people, like-minded people, and yeah, it's just a really cool place. Any more questions? We have Jidge says, it's so good to know I'm not the only one who sits at home mixing various signals trying to get the perfect sound. Perhaps I'm not as crazy as my wife says. Yeah. No, we're all crazy here, Jidge. We're all crazy. Just in a good way, I think, you know. I think, yeah, that's one of my favorite things to do, is just to mix signals and explore, and just seeing what kind of sounds I can come up with. And it's interesting because I'm not always after the same sort of sound, you know. Like last night, it was about getting a very sort of close and detailed sound, you know, this sort of warm, close, detailed sound. I was just doing like some improvisation on like just DADGAD, like some kind of majory melody. And I wasn't pressing very hard. And of course I had to bring up the mics a lot, had to push the preamps. And of course you were actually, if you listen to the recording loud, which sometimes you have to a little bit, you know, there's going to be some ground noise coming through, you know, and that happens, you know. And I'm actually quite not happy, but I'm okay with hearing a bit of ground noise, you know, like hiss, because I feel it can kind of add to the vibe a little bit, you know, in a weird way. I don't know. It's a little bit like, you know, analog. A lot of analog stuff has a lot of this hissing, and I don't know. It can add to it, you know. I don't see that as a bad thing necessarily. But I'm rambling now off topic. Jody says, Fabian, what is your pre-live stream hair care routine? So shiny. And you know what? I actually just had a shower. So just before I came on, because my hair was so greasy and so bad, I was like, I can't go on do a live stream with this bad hair. So I've just washed it. So that's it. There's no routine. Yeah. But thank you for saying that. Appreciate that. Jiz says, how much reverb do you put on your voice? And how do you get the voice to fit so perfectly in the mix? I usually, you know what? Actually, when I was performing that, I was... if you're talking about the song that I just did, I wasn't actually hearing any reverb. I was just taking a guess, actually. I just turned the reverb on. I can't actually hear any effects because of the way I've set up things with the live stream, I'm only hearing directly off like a direct monitor from the interface, you know. So it's, but what I usually do, I turn down the so give the reverb like a low pass filter. So yeah, it's all kind of low end. I find that can sound nicer than stuff if you have reverb that sounds really high. But yeah, it's a balance, isn't it, with the reverb, like getting it right with the tone of the reverb mixed with the delay, and also the mix between the dry and the mix as well. I find it's all kind of a balance, and depending on what you want and what you need. But 9 times out of 10, my vocals reverb is never as much as the instruments. I find the instruments can take a little bit more level of reverb than the instruments, is what I find, at least for me, for my liking, you know. And it's all preference, isn't it, depending on what sort of sound you want. But that's what I find, you know. And it's a mixture of, like, if you have too much reverb, it's not going to be clear enough, or it's not going to be, the clarity is not going to be there. So it's and with my vocals, I definitely want more clarity, for sure. But also with I actually had reverb on the mic as well, which I don't always do. I don't know how it sounded. Hopefully it sounded nice. But yeah, so I tend to have more effects on the pickups, because I find that I'm not after the clarity of the pickup anyway, you know. So I don't mind effects coming on the pickup. But with the mics, it's, yeah, I'm kind of after the clarity and the warmth and the tonal elements, and you do lose a little bit of that in a way if you add too much reverb. I don't know if that answers your question, Jidge. Hopefully it does. Hey, Christopher. Yeah, I went to Mannheim. Do you live in Mannheim? I will possibly be going again in 2025. My wife's family is from Heidelberg anyway, so we go down there a lot, but we don't tend to go to Mannheim. We kind of just stay in Heidelberg. But yeah, I reckon I'll hopefully try and make it down there again for the end of September. I think it's always around the end of September. You're talking about the Guitar Summit, right? Yeah, that'd be great. If you want to come along as well, we could meet up, absolutely. Okay, all right. I'll do another song, and I'll just adjust a few levels as we're going. It's the thing with this this mic really picks up a lot of these sort of sounds, the vibrations. Okay, I'm gonna do a song called Mad Eric. This is a song about a guy who was a little bit mad. We thought he was mad as kids. It's like your local drunk from my hometown in Farnham in Surrey. It's a lovely little town. If anybody is around Surrey, Hampshire area, just around like the southwest of London, that sort of just outside London. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna drink a little bit before I do this. Hold on. All right. I'll add a bit of reverb. Here we go. Call him Mad Eric, he talks to himself with a crutch at his left hand, he walks with its help. Ain't got no money, can't afford nothing else. Drinks all day, falls over himself. Searching around these streets he roams, and people's falling change. It's cold outside, you need a home. It's pouring down with rain. Eric don't have no home, no money, no job, nowhere to go, no woman, no sanity. And this ain't funny, cause half of it you don't know. Yeah, they call him Mad Eric when his kids walk by, cause it shouts and fists the sky. Crazy old man they call him, but why? Crazy old man they say. Go Eric, go. Play that blues, you know. You find it hard to cope. You're hungry, cold, tired and broke. Every day's the same, just gets worse. Ain't got no one on this earth. Go, Eric, go. Play that blues, you know. And play that blues, you know. Play the 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 blues, you know. Yeah, they call him Mad Eric, he talks to himself with a crutch at his left hand, he walks with its help. Ain't got no money, can't afford nothing else. Drinks all day, falls over himself. Searching around these streets he roams, and people's falling change. It's cold outside, you need a home.
It's pouring down with rain. Eric don't have no home, no money, no job, nowhere to go. No money, not sanity, and this ain't funny, cause half of it you don't know. Yeah, they call him Mad Eric when his kids walk by. Cusses, shouts, and fists the sky. Crazy old man, they call him, but why? Crazy old man, they say. Go, Eric, go. Play that blues, you know. You find it hard to cope. You're hungry, cold, tired, and broke. Every day is the same, just gets worse. Ain't got no one on this earth. Go, Eric, go. Play that blues, you know. Play that blues, you know. Go, Eric, go. Play that blues, you know. Find it hard to cope. You're hungry, cold, tired, and broke. Every day's the same, just gets worse. Ain't got no one on this earth. Go, Eric, go. Go, Eric, go. Go, Eric, go. Play that blues, play that blues, play that blues. I'll play that blues, 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 play that blues. I'll play that blues, play that blues, play that blues, play that blues. Play that blues, you know. 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 Play that blues, you know.
That was Mad Eric. And hope everyone's doing good. Welcome to the live stream. See, I always forget. I forget that I've got this clip-on mic. I shouldn't really put my hand, but now and again I forget and then touch it. Okay. Hope you're doing well, everyone. Still there? I'll see if there's any more questions or anything. Don't forget, you can ask away. Okay. TC California, welcome to the live stream. Favorite pedal for acoustic guitar? That's a hard one, but hold on, I'm just gonna mute this. Just mute the guitar pickup. A favorite pedal for the acoustic guitar? Yeah, I don't know if I can answer that. It's just too many. It's just too many. I really like. This isn't for just acoustic guitar. I really like my volume pedal, and I know that's really silly to say. I've said it's my favorite pedal in the past, and I will stick by it because it's a Leela volume pedal. I can't pick it up because it's just lots of it's on the floor right now, so there's lots of cables going in and out of it, but it's really nice. It's a really, really nice volume pedal, and it's just made really well. And the thing I like about it is that it's very, very sensitive. It's like you move it slightly and it will give you that amount of volume, which I really like. I really, really like. It's just really nice, and the company is really nice as well. The Leela, Lehle. They're based in Germany. Just they make like volume pedals, like lots of different switch pedals. Yeah, really nice guys. I know them, and yeah, it's. I really like these sort of small companies that do just a few things really well. I was talking about this earlier, and I stand by it. I really like these companies that do few things really well, and yeah, that's what I also try and do on guitar a little bit. I don't try and do too much in terms of like my techniques and stuff that I could do on the guitar. I'm not saying I'm able to do lots of other things, but like potentially, the guitar especially, it's such a versatile instrument, and like there's so many different ways of playing it. But I think I consciously I like to go down a particular technique and just be really good at that one technique. I mean, specifically is the sort of Travis picking, this alternate thumb picking. That's what I kind of pursued and started with. Not at the very beginning. I actually started with classical guitar when I was 7, but then when I picked up the guitar later again in life, that's what I started, sort of alternate thumb picking, this sort of stuff. I was doing a lot, and I've adapted it completely, into my own thing. But it's kind of going on this same sort of I don't know, theory, this same same thesis, whatever you want to call it, in that just do a few techniques, a few things, but do it really well. That's my motto. Anybody else agree with that? Okay, I can't remember what the question was now. I've rambled too much, which I tend to do on these live streams. That's why I edit my videos, That's why it's like I edit out the rambles. I don't care about the ums and ahs, It's like it's the rambling and getting off tangent, like, otherwise I just like, what is this video about? Start talking about something and end up talking about something completely different. Okay, favorite guitar pedal, that was it. Yeah. Jij says, yes, you answered my reverb question perfectly. I just realized, TC California, that's probably for everyone in the chat as well, not just me, right? You didn't say Fabian. Yes. That's why people are putting their pedals. That's good. What's everyone else's favorite guitar pedal? Jij has a lot. Yes. Christopher said, "Oh no, you live near Bamberg." Okay. Yeah, absolutely. If you wanted to come down, you know, anyone is welcome to come down to the Guitar Summit. You know, I was thinking we could have that like as a meeting place. You know, every year. It's at the end of September, every year, and I'm gonna try and go again because it was really nice. Had a good time. I'll see if I can. It's hard to try and go for the 3 days because we need to get back to Berlin. Because I went with my family, we needed to get back to Berlin for the Monday. Obviously, my son has school. And you know, and work and everything. So yeah, so we only went on the Saturday, but it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It was busy. So it's good to get in early on these things. Yeah, but if you haven't seen it, I did a video on it actually. It's not just of like me talking a bit about it and my favorite things that I liked when I was there. Jij says, do you ever sing in German? No. Nein. It's you know, my German's just not good enough for that, you know. I think I couldn't pull it off. I mean, I probably could if I really learnt a song in German. But I mean, sure, you know, there's like these sort of, there's a lot of kids songs that I sing in German to my son, you know, and this sort of thing, you know. So I guess I could. I just feel like, you know, when you're performing something really performing it from the heart, you really need to know those words, you know. You need to feel those words, you know. Yeah, I just don't know if I sang it in German that I would really feel them in the same way as singing stuff in English, you know. I think my German's not good enough. Needs to get better. Mike says, beautiful song performing. Thank you. You played it in standard tuning? No. I'm in DADGAD. DADGAD. I like to sort of play in different keys in DADGAD to make it not sound so much, you know, like in DADGAD. You know, the typical thing is to sort of, in DADGAD, is to play that, especially in the major, you know, this kind of stuff. And the song, I talked earlier about a song. There's a song that I was playing last night. It was actually in about this key, the same key, I think, as this, with the capo on the 4th fret and playing in D major. And it's really nice to play in major, in DADGAD in a major key. But that one I was playing was in A minor, so I choose keys that have lots of like D's and G's and A's, right? In like A. So I can play these sort of the D, you know, and obviously the A as well, and the D, because the D is also part of the A minor scale, you know. So I look out for keys that have a lot of these D's and G's in. Then I can mix fretted notes with open strings, you know. And then I go to just have a different bass notes, you know. And that one I was using like typical Travis picking or alternate thumb picking, you know. But something I do a lot is to be careful not to play the strings, all of the strings at the same sort of volume, you know. So I'm not going like this. Well, sometimes I was doing that, but not a lot, you know. Then it just kind of, to me, is there's no dynamics there, you know. So I really try and to have softer, play certain strings softer, and then usually, you know, the softer ones are the lower ones, and then I'll just sort of bring out the melody. You know, that's one of the ways you can bring out melody, is like using the dynamics, you know. So it's very clear then where is the bass line, you know, what's the bass line? It's kind of this down there, you know, a lot quieter, and the melody is obviously up there, you know. You know, and I can it's not necessarily the melody is always there. I mean, usually, you know, the chords are the lower, the bass line is, you know, the melody is like higher pitched. Usually the case, but it doesn't always have to be, you know. I can also try and flip the two. Don't know if I've ever done that before. So here we go. So it's, you know, I'm trying to bring out these notes, these lower notes now, make them part of the melody, you know. You know, so there's lots of things you can do just in the dynamics, in the just the different ways how hard you hit the strings, you know. And obviously dynamics has lots of emotion in there, so that's one of the things that I really try and work on, is not trying to play faster, trying to play better licks. It's just trying to have better control over my fingers and how hard I'm hitting and how softly I'm hitting them, you know, because there's lots of tension in there and release and dynamics, and that's where all the emotion is, you know. I know that's straying miles off from your question, but hopefully that answers something. Paul says, do you work besides YouTube? Absolutely, yes. The money I make on YouTube is like it's so little, but yeah, I do teaching, so I do a lot of teaching. I used to do gigging. I used to tour, especially before my son was born. When I was living in the UK, you know, I was gigging all the time. I was also teaching as well. But it's it's been hard with going away. I did this one tour of when my son turned 1. It was actually a tour of the Netherlands. It was actually the best tour I've ever done. But I haven't done a tour since. Not a proper tour, at least, anyway. And I did it when he turned 1, and I had to leave him on his first birthday. And I managed to stay like most of the day, but then I had to go. And it was so hard. I was just like rocking him to sleep, and he fell asleep in my arms, and I put him down. I was just like in tears. I was just like, and then I realized, like, okay, I'm not going to be able to do this. Need to figure out something else. So I didn't get into YouTube straight away. Then it was more around lockdown, but in 2020. But yeah, it's so I do a lot of teaching all around Berlin. I teach in schools, I teach kids, I teach adults, and all kinds of stuff like that. And yeah, but yeah, YouTube is mainly, it pays a little bit, but it's mainly just a passion, at least at the moment. And but it's growing, and lots of things come from YouTube. I don't think I would ever make a living through just YouTube monetization, and that sounds really stressful as well, anyway, to try and make all these YouTubers that make a living through, depending on how many views they get on their videos. That just doesn't sound like fun to me. I mean, it's nice to get views, but like if your paycheck depends on it, it's like that's stressful. So it's be nice to have some other things that I can rely on for money, and then YouTube is just kind of, it's a great way for people to find me and to find my music. YouTube is great for that because it's a search engine. So a lot of my videos that I do, that's why I put in, like, if I'm talking about a microphone or a pedal, I'll put that in the title, because I know people are searching for that, and then they'll find me, and then hopefully they'll like it, they'll find my other videos, and then they'll subscribe, and then and maybe join my community, and it's just a way of finding like-minded people like all of you here. Hope that answers your question. Jody says, Mad Eric, solid tune, love that one, appreciate that. Hey, we have, I'm going to try and pronounce that name, Samwise says, what is the instrument in the back? The guitar with the banjo head. Could you play something on it? Guitar with the banjo. Do you mean this one here? This one is actually out of service at the moment. It's unplayable. It needs TLC. It's like I actually did a video on it. I call it the Frankenstein guitar. If you go on my channel, you can find it. I did it about a year ago or something. It's basically like a guitar. It's like a resonator, basically. It's like a guitar that has a banjo inside. Yeah, it's unplayable. It really needs a lot of work. I've got someone local here who kind of does guitar tech, who I need to take it to. So unfortunately, I can't play anything on it, but I did a video on it that you can watch. Guitars and Gizmo says, do you know what kind of model your volume pedal is? Perhaps the Lila mono volume pedal. Yeah, that's it. It's exactly what it is. The Lila mono volume. Yeah, I know they do stereo ones. This one is mono. I didn't want a stereo one, even though I have a stereo setup, because I want to control the the wet and the dry separately. Maybe I'll get another one so I can control the wet and the dry as a volume, but for now, one's fine for me. Yeah, it's a really, really nice volume pedal, basically. Jody says, love the tangents. That's why we're here. Appreciate that. Thanks. Vinicius says, I really liked your video about the Zoom H4n Pro. Would you recommend it to a beginner working on acoustic recordings? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I would. It's I love the Zoom. I still use it to this day. It's the fact that you can record pretty high quality recordings on it, especially if you want to just record acoustic guitar. If you're wanting to record acoustic guitar and vocals, which you totally can do with that, I would say that you would probably, I would recommend getting an external microphone that you can plug into it, just because of the way that the mics are. You have to get it kind of pretty close, and you have to get your guitar pretty high it doesn't pick up a huge area, at least that's what I found. It's totally doable and it sounds really good. I did a video on this as well. But if you're just recording acoustic guitar, or even if you're going to do them separately as well, that would work great. Then they sound really, really good. Just the mics on the top, and for the price, I can't remember how much it is now, but it's not a lot, for what it is. You can record directly on there. Yeah, I love my Zoom. I love these little handy recorders, and the fact that it can be portable as well is just a bonus, So yeah, absolutely, I would. Jidge says, I bought the H4n Pro on Fabian's advice, and yes, it's fantastic for acoustic guitar. Highly recommend it. Yeah. I've seen people use just the H4n Pro, just the mics on the top for acoustic guitar. I've seen people use that. I mean, I use that as well, and it sounds great. It sounds really, really good. So yeah, starting to spend more time on it. Want to make sure that I have a decent gear. Thanks for the feedback. Yeah, it's I mean, it's one of these things of you gotta. I mean, people see that that I have a bunch of really high-end microphones and gear and stuff like this. But bear in mind, I've been buying gear for years. I worked in a music shop when I was when I was studying. I got 30% off in this music shop, which was crazy. I just spent everything I earned on gear, on stuff in that shop. It was insane. So I've built up a lot of stuff. And also bear in mind, a lot of this stuff that I'm using, companies send to me, but I send it back. They don't give it to me for free. So you gotta bear that in mind. But I can't remember what my point was with this. But you can, I'd say, get whatever you can afford. And then stick with that and learn that really well. Like when I got the Zoom, I didn't have really many other high end mics really. I just mainly had that, but I learnt how to use it, how to get a really good recording with it, and so that's what I would recommend. You can almost always turn whatever mic you have, whatever setup you have, you can make it sound the best that you can, with whatever you have, and then think about like upgrading, of course, if you can afford it, if that makes sense. Jij says, when your son is a teenager, you'll be glad to go on tour. Yeah, absolutely. So that's why I'm spending all this time not going on tour, because he's just a joy to spend time with, probably very different when he's a teenager. And then I'll be like, right, okay, when's the next tour? I'm off. Yeah. Mountain versus Mountain says, hope you continue to do this. Cheers. Stefan. How's it going, Stefan? Appreciate that. If you need any more advice about anything, just pop questions in the Song Club. Oh, yeah. That's it. Jij was replying. Yeah, exactly. That's a little plug for the Song Club. If you're not part of the Song Club, then I recommend that you join, because it's a growing community we have, and you don't have to join any like social media or anything like that. It's just on my website. You do have to sign up, but it's free, and I promise I won't do anything dodgy with your information. All right. Oh, hey, Roy. How's it going? Roy says, how do you stop the feedback problem when using an electric amp on acoustic? Yeah, it's you can either, there's a few ways. Like, it depends on like how loud you have it. And I have it very, very quiet, In fact, I haven't actually experimented with using electric amp on acoustic guitar on stage. Is this something you're doing on stage, Roy? Because you shouldn't need it too loud, and don't face the amp. I mean, obviously, you probably know that already. Try and get some distance between you and the amp. And obviously, if the pickup you're using has a microphone in it, then don't use the microphone. Yeah, the microphone would just get really bad feedback. So it has to be like a pickup of some kind, but it probably is anyway. Yeah, so it's that, and also the with EQ, you can possibly fix it with an EQ. If you have an EQ pedal before you go in, that might solve it. But I would say probably volume is the thing, when I was experimenting with it, the volume was like barely on 1, not even that. It was like hardly anything. But that was enough, because I was miking it up, and I just needed enough for the mic to pick it up, and that's it. Jody says, any recommendations for a good budget ribbon mic? Yes, I do. It depends on what a budget is. Budget is different to different people, but if you're looking around the sort of how much is it there now? It's probably between 1 and 200 like euros, which is fairly similar with dollars, I think, as well. I think they're very similar. The euro exchange rate between the dollars. Is No Hype Audio make some great budget mics. I've used their mics. I have their mics. I've used their mics in a lot of my videos. They make some really, really good ones. They make them in Belgium. They're based in Belgium. They put the ribbons in Belgium themselves. So that's really important that they do that. A lot of budget ribbon mics, they're made in China, and that's fine. But a lot of them, it's a very tricky thing putting the ribbon in, you know. And a lot of the cheap ones are kind of not done to a high level, you know, not done by hand. So they don't sound as good. So it's really important that the ribbon is put in properly. And they do that themselves in Belgium. So you can look up No Hype Audio. So it's like No Hype Audio, and they have I think it's I can't remember the model number now, LRM. They only have a few. I have the cheaper one and the slightly more expensive one. They're both great, you know. Between 1 and 200, something like this, you know. And then if you're able to afford the Bourbon here, this is around 400, so it's a bit more, but this is I would say this is like a serious ribbon mic, you know. You can use this on like professional recordings. It's a very beautifully made high-end ribbon mic, like handmade, you know. I did a video on this. So it's a really, really nice mic. Yes, but if you can't afford the 400, if you're looking more in the like 1 or 200, then the No Hype Audio I would recommend. Paul says, can I ask how much did your Loudon cost you? Have you tried it? Did you try it before buying? That's normally I would recommend that you try a guitar before you buy it, but I didn't. But I knew how it sounded. My teacher Eric Roach played this Loudon 010 as well around the same year. Even though I never played his, I saw it all the time, and I heard it, and I knew I really liked it, and so yeah, I kind of got it, and it was actually I bought it from the States. I had it shipped over from the States, so you know that cost me a little bit, but it's funny that it was made in Northern Ireland, got shipped to the US, and then shipped back. I was living in Italy at the time, and had it shipped to Italy, and then it's been all around the world with me, and now it's ended up in Berlin. But it's how much did it's a long time ago. It was like, I don't know, 15 years ago. So it's been a long time. But it wasn't that much. It wasn't like extortionate amounts. Maybe like around 1,000 potentially. I'm not sure. Something like this. Maybe even like 800. It was a long time ago. And my memory is not good anyway. I would recommend trying a guitar before you buy it though. If you can. Or at least a similar guitar, you know. Yeah, that's a good point. Feedback buster in the sound hole, Roy. Thanks for that. That's you could try that feedback buster. It's like in the sound hole, goes in. All right. Yeah, it was a good price for the Loudon, absolutely. I yapped it up. It's had a lot of use though, you know. All right, I'm gonna play one more song, everyone, because it's getting late, and it's almost 11. It's funny, I used to do these live streams for like an hour, and now it's more like 2 hours, because there's so many questions and so many people, but it's great, you know, I love it. All right, I'm gonna do one more song, and then so if you have any more questions, now's the time to ask away, and I'll answer them before I leave after I do the last song. Okay. Last song, here we go. This is called Memories.
We were young, we used to head down to the southern coast. What I enjoyed the most was the sun and the lovely sea. Fresh sea air, it smelled the best when the tide was out. We used to run and shout, release the bird in me. The memory of that feeling was so free. Sand in between my toes, the sun cream, it's on my nose. The water comes up to my knees. It's these moments and memories. Sunday morn, me dad said, everyone in the car, we don't have to drive too far. I roll my window down, radio on and blasting, cruising steadily. Who can see the sea is the first to make a sound, and I'm the first to say what I have found. Sand in between my toes, sun cream, it's on my nose. water comes up to my knees. It's these moments and memories.
So that was called Memories. I still haven't recorded that song yet, but I'm hopefully going to be putting that on the next album. All right, let's have a look at the questions. Guitars and Gizmos says, okay, that's to Roy. Have you tried to kill the feedback with EQ pedal? With an EQ pedal, it's usually low frequencies the culprit, and could be tamed with EQ. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's usually the low end, isn't it? A bit of EQing and feedback, you know. But Guitars and Gizmo says, really tasteful choice of tones, both in guitar and your vocal melody lines. Such a professional and musical delight of performance. Very lovely. Thank you so much. Nice comment there. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's going back on like on this sort of trying to have control over the volume of each string as I'm playing it, you know. For me, that's really important, and having these dynamics in my songs, in my playing, especially in these moments where it's just the guitar. So I usually have these points where I'm just playing guitar, and most of it is just improvisation, you know. And you will definitely hear a few bum notes in there, or notes that I like. This one, I was trying to reach up that. This is one of these notes that didn't sound too great to my ears, but I realized that a lot of people don't notice these things. But I'm hearing every little detail, you know. but I try and push myself to, when I'm improvising, to just kind of explore the fretboard a little bit more and explore different notes, and yeah, kind of get myself out of that comfort zone. You know, we all have these comfort zones that we all love to stay in, you know, no matter your ability, you know. And that's the beautiful thing, is like, no matter your ability, it doesn't matter. Just try and push yourself out of your comfort zone just a little bit, you know. And each time you'll learn from it. You know, you don't have to do it in a performance, you know, like a live stream or a performance on stage or anything like this, you know. Just when you're practicing at first, just when you're playing to yourself, try and push yourself. But it is more exciting to do it in a performance in front of people, you know, because there's a bit of like a bit of risk, and that's what I love about improvising, is that there's a little bit of risk there, you know. You're taking a risk by pushing yourself a little bit, you know. And but if it works out, it's great, you know. It's this sort of thing. But I appreciate that comment. Thank you so much. Okay, all right. I'm gonna end it there, guys, because I'm it's past 11 now here in Germany, and I am tired. Yes. Oh, we've got a few comments. See if there's any. Yeah. Dynamics in your performance is so good. Listening to how the notes end, that's a sign of true musician. Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about that. Listening to how the notes end. Yeah, that's a good one. The dynamics, tone, and clarity is absolutely phenomenal. Beautiful performance. Thanks again for another awesome live. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Have a good weekend, everyone. Don't forget, if you want to join the Song Club, and if you haven't yet, then the link is in the description down below. And it's really growing. There's more and more people joining, and there's more posts, and there's more questions being answered, people asking more questions, which is great. You know, this is what we want. This is what we need. So come over and join the conversation. Thank you, everyone, as always, for joining these live streams. I try and make them every Saturday at 9 p.m. Central European time. Yeah, so thank you so much, everyone, and have a wonderful weekend wherever you are, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.